Hi friends, Chef Lily here. Welcome back. Today is all about zucchini. Zucchini is a summer squash. Zucchini is an Italian word. But basically, this is a green summer squash that we're going to make 3 different dishes out of today. Our first is going to be what I call pan de arcoiris, which means rainbow bread, and it's actually muffins. We're making muffins, and the rainbow is a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables. The red is the apple. Ooh, knife is dull. I'm going to show you guys how to sharpen that in a second here. The red is apple, and then we're going to use some orange, some carrot, some zucchini, some pineapple. So a rainbow of ingredients inside of our muffins. Let me sharpen our knife while we go ahead and explain the rest of our dishes. We're going to have some zucchini Parmesan Quesadillas and some little mini zucchini pizzas. All right, so this is a chef knife. This is a chef's #1 tool in the kitchen. It gets really dull after a while, so you have to hone it and make sure it's nice and sharp. You actually are more apt to cut yourself with a dull knife. And I don't usually start using a chef knife with kids until they're in middle school or high school. So we don't want your kids starting out with this guy. You really want to start out with this guy right here. This is our Curious Chef knife. So you can use this too for your apples. Get them kind of broken down for your kiddos like this, and then they can dice them into little teeny tiny squares, like so. All right, so we're gonna make our muffins first, and I'm just kind of chopping up all of these fruits and veggies in front of you all. So we have our apple. We're going to measure out ½ cup of apple. And that's about 1 small apple, friends. That's going to add a lot of moisture and flavor to your muffin. This is a great back to school muffin. My kiddo starts back tomorrow, and he is just going to love these. All right, so we have our apple. Let's see, how much zucchini do we need? We need ½ cup of shredded zucchini. You guys see, I'm using this cheese grater here. I use this with kiddos, but you need to be careful. I always tell them, knuckles up. You don't want any injury from this thing right here. All right, that looks good. And we're going to do some shredded carrots also. Think of this like a really tasty carrot cake. Woo! See, that's why you gotta be careful shredding. Very careful. There's a lot of different kinds of graters. This one is called a box grater. And this pan de arcoiris, I got the idea from being in Mexico. There's bakers that come around and sell fresh breads and baked goods in the morning while you're at the beach on a tray. And I had something very similar to this when I was in Mexico. It was delicious. My favorite thing there is the banana bread, and carrot cakes, and all the little muffins in the morning. All right. There's some carrot. Oh, it smells so good. This is a local fresh carrot. All right. So now we need a little bit of pineapple. And we're going to use ½ cup of pineapple. All right. That off. Here's my measuring cup. Need my measuring cup. Crushed pineapple, friends. So here are all my different fruits that are going into my muffin. So now that we have this bowl, we're gonna add some ingredients into another bowl that's gonna be our dry measurement. So we're gonna have a cup of flour. Making me feel really on the spot. I guess I should be used to that though.
I don't think I could get a project.
No, it's good to pay attention. Made me nervous for a second. All right, friends, a cup of flour. And we're gonna do 3/4 cup of sugar. We're gonna do some cinnamon. Cinnamon is from the inner bark of a tree. This cinnamon smells so good. I'm probably gonna be adding more than I need, but that's all right. I love cinnamon. And I forgot, I'm gonna do some orange zest into our fruit bowl. There's a ton of flavor in the zest of the orange. I'm going to use this tool called the microplane to do it with. Zesting. Taking the zest off of the orange and getting it into here will add so much flavor from the orange. And we'll also add some of that fresh juice. Add half of the orange worth of juice in there too. That orange was so ripe and juicy. Okay, so let's stir this up a little bit and we're going to add some baking soda. We need a teaspoon of baking soda. Here's my teaspoon. All right, and this is going to make our muffins rise. Our pan de arcoiris would be totally flat if we didn't have some sort of leavening agent in it. So let's go ahead and stir up all of our dry ingredients. And then let's go ahead and add our oil and our eggs to our fruit. We're going to use 2 eggs. And we're going to use some oil. We're going to use some canola oil, and we're going to use 1/3 cup of that. So that is all of our wet ingredients, and we have all of our dry ingredients. Now we need to combine them together. All right, so we're going to combine our wet and our dry. And stir it with our spatula until everything is just combined. This is really similar to a morning glory muffin, friends. All right, everything is mixed up really good. Woo! And now we're gonna put our muffins in our muffin tin. Here we go. Oh, I forgot the vanilla. And I forgot the raisins. The raisins are our blue. Can't forget our blue. All right. Make sure you give those raisins a good stir, because some of them really like to stick together. That smells better with the vanilla in there. So now I have my baking cups right here. And we're going to go ahead and fill these using an ice cream scoop. Batter's a little bit runny, so just be careful. You could also use a measuring cup to fill these up. And we're going to make extra large muffins. Be a nice, awesome breakfast for tomorrow morning. I really like to add coconut to these sometimes also. All right, 2 more left, friends. 1. 2. We have our batter perfectly used up. Awesome. All righty, so you see we have our muffin pan all filled up. It's going to go in the oven, and then we'll cook our other 2 dishes. So let's go ahead and get started on our zucchini pizzas. We have 2 zucchini here, and I'm going to go ahead and slice those up to about a 1/2 inch thickness. And they're going to kind of take the place of pizza crust. We're going to do 1/2 of these with olives and 1/2 of these with pepperoni. So I'm going to go ahead and start to put these on my cookie sheet that I've lined with foil. Oh, remember some oil, foil and oil. We need some oil so that the zucchini will brown properly. And I'm going to actually go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of salt on the bottom of my tray too. And the zucchini will kind of suck that up so that they'll be nice and seasoned. You don't want bland zucchini bed and then all this flavorful pizza topping on the top. We want the zucchini to be nice and flavorful too, right? So make sure you go ahead and rub the zucchini in the oil and then go ahead and flip them over so both sides are nice and oily and seasoned with salt. And if you like black pepper, you can use a tiny bit of black pepper as well. I'm going to use some pizza seasoning that the Willie Street Co-op sells. They've donated all of our food today. And the pizza seasoning has garlic and dried herbs and dried peppers and other ingredients where it literally smells and tastes just like pizza. And that'll be really delicious on these pizza bites too. Okay, so we're putting all the zucchini in the oil and salt. And as you can see, there's a lot of room between each zucchini. We don't want to crowd the pan because then otherwise these won't get browned at all. They'll just be steaming wet little zucchini bites, and we don't want that. Anytime you're roasting anything in the oven, make sure that there's surface area, that there's room between each piece of food for the surfaces to brown. You need the air to be able to circulate. All right, that looks good. So here's that pizza spice I was talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and just sprinkle some of that on. Then we'll go ahead and we'll take our pizza sauce, stir it up, and I'm gonna put a little dollop on each zucchini. I love the smell of pizza sauce. We make a lot of homemade pizza in our house, and the dough can get really filling. So these are a healthy alternative where, you know, you really don't need to worry about overindulging in these. Zucchini is so healthy for you. Healthy pizza, right, friends? All right, so let's go ahead and put some mozzarella cheese on these. I love mozzarella cheese on my pizza. It's the classic cheese that goes on them. And I love a little bit of Parmesan. We have that also. You could use whatever kind of cheese you have laying around the house, that's for sure. Any cheese would be good. And for that matter, these would be good with a little bit of enchilada sauce instead of pizza sauce, with maybe some shredded Mexican cheese on them. You could change the flavor profile to a Mexican flavor profile. I always say, take the recipe and use it to be creative and change things to fit what you have on hand and what you like. All right, that looks really good. So let's use some of that Parmesan. And I got a little bit messy and excessive with my cheese, but it's gonna kind of crisp to the foil, and that'll taste good too. Oh, here's one that didn't get any. Okay. The Parmesan cheese smells so yummy. So like I said, we're gonna do some with pepperoni and some with olives. And you could use mushroom, you could use a little bit of pepper, really whatever your favorite pizza topping is, you could go ahead and use, right? Gotta get creative here. You could even use sauteed zucchini on top of the zucchini. I have some sauteed zucchini here. We're gonna use that inside of our quesadilla in a minute after these go in the oven. So the rest of them, I'm just putting some black olives on for our veggie ones. But like I said, mushrooms would be good. A little bit of sauteed spinach would be good. You could use Alfredo sauce on these. That would be delicious instead of tomato sauce. All right, in the oven. So now we're going to start our third and final dish. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on my pan to do that. We're going to go ahead and use our griddle here. Have that ready. We need to preheat it first. So our last dish is going to be our Zucchini Parmesan Quesadillas. And I like to make these with chicken too, but I wanted to do a zucchini theme, of course. And so I thought, oh, I can make those quesadillas that I usually make. So let's go ahead and make a couple of these guys. I'll make two of them. So again, we'll put some pizza sauce down. So let's make 4 smaller ones. I like the idea of that better. Pizza sauce down. And Parmesan cheese. Mozzarella cheese. And our zucchini. So I just took this zucchini and I sauteed it on our griddle here for about 5 minutes. in a tiny bit of olive oil and put some salt and some of that pizza seasoning on it till it was a golden brown on all sides, and I cooled it down, and now it is the perfect filling for our quesadillas. And then I have some fresh basil that I'm going to use also. Okay. Love the smell of fresh basil. So let's put some olive oil on our griddle, get it a little bit preheated. We don't need too much, just enough to gently pan fry these quesadillas. Go ahead and fold them over. Whoop, I hear sizzling. That's what we want to hear. If the pan isn't sizzling, it's probably not hot enough. We need to get these nice and golden brown and delicious. Smelling good, smelling good. So these are going to cook for a few minutes on each side. All right, so let's go ahead and flip our quesadillas with our spatula. Oh, they're so nice and golden brown on one side. Beautiful. So now they have to cook on the other side until they're nice and golden brown and delicious also. So what are some of your favorite ways to cook zucchini? There's a lot of different things you can do with it. I like to make a little raw salad out of it with some lemon juice and olive oil and nuts and cheese. That's one of my favorite ways. So these are looking good. They're nice and golden brown on the underside too. I'm going to go ahead and take them off of our griddle, and we'll check our other dishes that are inside of the oven. Oh, and there's our timer. Okay, so that needs a couple more minutes, but let's take off these quesadillas and check them out. These are kind of our fusion quesadillas. Yum! Franz, our muffins are not quite finished, but they're looking wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and pop them back in. And I'm going to also show you our zucchini pizza bites are just about done too. Look at those. Those are looking great. Actually, those are done. So our muffins just need a couple more minutes. Our zucchini pizza bites are done. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you next time with Lily the Kid Chef.